Welcome back to BCB Live. We're the safest station in the nation. Drive safe, Dave. We're going to start at first with an article from FreightWaves, and the headline is Protecting Our Most Valuable Asset, America's Truck Drivers. And Dave, the article goes on to talk, it's just not about the accidents, right? There's a lot of other things that we are trying to do to protect our truck drivers.
Yeah, I mean, most people would think that most injuries that come to truck drivers would come from crashes, and that's not the case. Most injuries that occur to truck drivers out there working today are the simple things, the slips and the falls, are the tripping and falling off of the back of the truck, falling while loading, tripping on the parking lot, tripping out, coming out of the truck, falling down on the truck. And I'm going to tell you, most of the injuries in the United States today to truck drivers are from the simple slips and falls in and out of the truck.
And Dave, you know, I don't think that we give that the appreciation that we should in our industry. We're so focused on accident-free, and I'm talking DOT accident-free miles.
Right, I get it.
And yet today, today joining us is Ralph Furlong. What Ralph's going to help us talk about, Dave, is this right here. We're going to talk about, slips, right? And probably nobody better to talk about slips and falls than our very own Ralph Furlong, wearing the headgear. He's ready to go. Ralph Furlong, top of the afternoon, buddy. How you doing?
How you guys doing? Great.
Man, we're doing well, Ralph. We talked to you a little bit before. I know you're on site right now. Man, what are you going to talk to us today about?
Like you guys were saying about in the industry of truck driving and slips and falls, absolutely. As far as accident goes, as far as any type of incidents that goes, a lot of people think that, I got in an accident driving a truck, or I got in an accident moving my vehicle. But in the reality of the aspects of the trucking industry, I stopped my truck, I got out of my truck, I get out to go grab something in the back of my truck, but I slipped and fell. Now I'm on the ground, I'm injured. Who do I call? How do I get out of this predicament? These are the real-time accidents that happen every day, and it happens throughout the whole country. Slips and falls from the smallest heights, which could be 1 to 2 feet, are just as dangerous how you fall compared to 6 feet falling from a height. Yes.
Yeah, Ralph, we spend a lot of time talking about the footwear, about, things you can do to prevent that slip and fall. Talk to me about footwear. I mean, I know you're out there. I know you're on site right now. You got anybody out there working in sandals right now?
No, absolutely not. And I've had that happen to me before. So I'm going to, right before I get to going and showing you a few of the little scaffolding here, this is what I like to do. I like to pretty much watch these guys from a little distance. I watch them. I make sure that everything's concrete, and I get out there and I inspect it. So let's get out there and see what's going on here. Remember, we got foot gear, we got eye gear. We got to have everything in place before you start your inspection.
You know what, guys? We're seeing it live right now. We're seeing a real... Ralph, I bet everybody's going to run away. They're probably scared of you right now.
No, they're not. As a matter of fact, as you can see here, here's one of the houses that we're doing. And if I lose connectivity, it's because of my earbuds. But as you can see, not only as far as the construction site, but also in the trucking industry, when you're doing any type of activity, any type of safety components, everything comes into play. We got scaffolding here on the side of a building, the mid rail on top, we got the center rail on the bottom, we've got our planks in place. The guys are here stuck in this house, and most of these guys pretty much protect themselves, as you can see, with all the proper components. Not only that, but a lot of the guys with their safety hats on, a lot of the guys are wearing their boots so they don't slip and fall, and they're working this type of aspect. So it's important to wear your PPE for any type of construction, any type of work that you do. That's a key factor to an element for any type of job that you do, especially when you're working in the trucking industry. You're going to deal with a lot of oils. You're going to deal a lot with fuels that are on site. And not only that, that's going to be something that's going to be a hazard for you, is everything that's below it. Here, as you can see, there's no rain. It's all sunny. We pretty much can work through the sun. All the scaffoldings are clear. all the scaffoldings are clean, and pretty much the guys are working on a site that's pretty much safety free.
Hey, Ralph. So when you talk about doing these, when you start going on job sites and you start out the day and y'all go through your safety, is a part of that discussing being careful where you walk, how you walk, making sure the work area is clear, making sure you watch where you're going. I mean, I know we should do all those things, but you do spend time talking about the simple things first, right?
That's right, Safety David. And one of the most important things that we do state, our statement is, a clean job site is a safe job site. And that's one of the things we try to go by. So a lot of the times when you get to a site and it's a disaster, there's debris all over the place, you can't install the scaffolding correct, you can't walk around the building correct, that's a hazard. So we try to mitigate that by telling the guys, keep the job site safe and clean. You can eradicate your scaffolding. It can be done perfectly. We can work safety. We can work safer if the area is clean and clear, and that's a big component for safety. Absolutely.
And also when you were talking about, I liked that you had PPE in there and you were discussing it. We each can, and as drivers, we can each have our own PPE, whether it be good footwear, right? As we get in and out and as we go, we're wearing the right proper, flip-flops and socks and is not where you want to be when you're driving. I get being comfortable in the truck while you're driving, but if you're going to get out and you're going to work on the truck, Ralphie, how important it is that you use the proper gear in everything you do, whatever job you're doing, and I know you do many different jobs in safety. How important is that proper gear to make it work for you?
Hey, Dave, thank you for asking that. It's so important to try to have these guys with their mentality thinking, I have to wear the right gear for my job. I go on a job site and say, okay, you guys are going to be putting Crocs on, climbing these scaffoldings. Crocs are going to slip. The Crocs are going to be uncomfortable. With wearing the right type of foot gear, wearing the right type of gear, especially for your eye protection, that's key to be able to build safe, to wear safe, and to protect yourself. So as far as in the trucking industry, when you're working on the truck and you're walking out of the truck to go to the back platform, especially for guys that are filling up fuel, those guys are going to be wearing the anti-slip boots so they don't slip off the back of their trucks. They're going to be wearing, if they have to wear any type of gear, harnesses per se onto their body, they're going to wear those gears so they don't slip and fall. And these are important things that everybody needs to adhere, needs to comply. And more than anything, their family's going to be happy that they use it on site. Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hey, Ralph, just real talk here for a second. Still one of the top 5 violations we get in our industry is the seatbelt, okay? Something as simple and as important as the seatbelt. I mean, I know you're at these job sites. I know you do all these different things out here, but Ralph, how do we make people realize that the seatbelt's not just there to check a box, that it can save your life? How do you give me some ideas on how we can bring it down, or make it important to somebody else to realize that, hey, when we talk to you about these things, it's not just to talk. It really is about saving your life.
Absolutely. A lot of times we get work. You have seatbelt when you're on the site. It's very key and very component. And when we do safety talks, sometimes images. In the images that we show and the little videos we show for our safety talks, sometimes it has to be some images of some accidents. Sometimes it has to be some images of crash sites. But these are images that are important for the person to realize that this could be you. These are the things that you need to use while you're working in a truck. Why do y'all have to use my seatbelt? Because these things are the things that can happen to you. And by telling the worker that you're only safe, the safety time that you're going to be is as long as you make it safe for yourself by using the safety belts. I know a lot of trucks and I know a lot of these machines that are on site, like the high reaches, the forklifts, they can't work unless you attach the seatbelt. What do the guys do? They put the seatbelt on and they sit on it versus putting it across their body to be able to start the machines. These things can't happen. The seatbelt is there to protect your life, to prevent an accident, and a lot of the times it's basically having the person on site pushing that person, saying, please wear it, think about your life, think about your family. These are key components.
Ravi, when you have these real life, and I like that you use images of scenes and stuff like that. Do you ever get it does it ever happen when the guy, before you've pressed on him, when does the light come on? Really, honestly, let's talk about it. When does that light, when you see that, you know what I'm talking about, that light that comes on and says, okay, I actually get it, and I get it, and doesn't that, and how does that make you feel?
Well, a lot of the times when the guys tell me, thank you, that's one of the things that you don't hear from anybody or any type of workers. Thank you for letting me know this. Thank you, I did not know. And basically, those are the things that we have to pretty much push for the worker to understand and realize safety is important in your life. And we're here to help you. When anything that comes to a point where the risk factor is really high and you have to be there for them, they appreciate that somebody's there to help them. My best attribute to a person when they tell me thank you is because that day I pretty much helped somebody prevent an accident or save their own life. Absolutely.
Hey, Ralph, can you tell me that time, and we got like about 2 minutes, but tell me a time, give me a real, again, I love real life examples where you did make a difference in, say, the life of somebody.
I'll tell you what, I probably made a big difference in the life of a lot of people, especially when I was working in Central America, when I brought the workers' wives to the job site. Because not only did the wives appreciate and see what I saw, where these workers were not using their hard hats or safety belts, but they were able to appreciate and say, I know what you go through every day, and I'm going to make sure my husband does what he needs to do to be safe and come home to his family. That was a big impact for myself.
Ralph, first of all, don't be bringing my wife up to work. But I'll tell you what, I bet you got results.
No doubt about it. One of my favorite stories that you have there, Ralph. I love when you brought the wives up to look at them and say, look at him up there. That's your husband. He's not wearing his hard hat.
And he won't. And he won't. I can't get him to wear his hard hat, and he may not ever come home. Can you help me?
That's right.
My goodness.
Yes, absolutely. That was it. My best help was a family help. Absolutely.
I bet they were all wearing their hats the next day.
Yes, absolutely. And not only that, they told me, please don't ever bring my wife to
Oh, man, I love it, love it, love it. Hey, Ralph, I want to thank you. Thank you for taking us to your work site today to show us what safety means to you, because it's not just what we do on the truck side, Drive Safe. Safety really does make a big play in so many different places out there outside of trucking, just like you're doing out there, Ralph. Keep it up, because we are after the same message, and that's the message of safety.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ralph. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make hold on, Ralph. You got to say the word.
Oh, yeah,
hold
before
on.
you get out of here, you know what? You know the routine. You got to say your name, who you're with, and that you're watching BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
I'm Ralph Furlong. I'm with Horton and also the World Safety Organization, and I'm with BCB Live, the safest station in the nation.
All right.